Welcome to the Take It Home podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at DocSimmons17. Tonight we got a full house on board. I'm going to give the hot tag to my partner to introduce himself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. And then if you love us together, look up Country Air at Country Air Official for Facebook and Instagram. And then Country Air Brand on Twitter. And I'll pass it off to the man making his return from some riots.
That would be myself, Gunner Wicks. You can catch me on all social media at Gunner Wicks. I'll pass it off to my favorite referee.
I'm Ref Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the Ref Brand, at Waffles Take It Home podcast.
All right, and let's get our sub beginning out of the way. How have the waffle travels been, fellas?
Bro, phenomenal. Yesterday was Jack's birthday, and we got some breakfast food. Well, they got McDonald's, but that place that I told you about, the Belgian waffle, I got it. Oh man, hit the spot.
Very good, very good. Gunner, Perch, any progress on the waffle front? We are constantly at delicious battle with waffles.
No, I haven't had a good waffle for quite a while, actually. It's probably been months. Got to get on that.
Have you been cheating on with some pancakes?
Not even pancakes.
Ooh.
I've been slacking on the breakfast foods as a whole, except for eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. But no pancakes, no French toast, no nothing.
That protein to riot strong.
Yup.
What about you, Perch?
No waffles over here, but some good breads, some good Italian loaves, good French baguettes. Had a good garlic bread from an Italian loaf last night. Really good. But good breads, but no waffles, unfortunately. I miss them.
It seems like your mama's favorite tag team is making do with the waffles for the podcast. We're the only ones living the gimmick. Had a delicious cinnamon Belgian waffle. I still stand by my stance. Standard order needs to be 2. That one waffle was good. Would have been even better had there been 2.
Always better with 2.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would at the moment I'd want 2, but when I'm done, I would regret the second one.
I mean, 2 is probably slightly too much, but I don't want 1.5.
Yeah, but you're at this disadvantage where you have incredibly rocking hard abs that make up for the waffle. And me, I don't. I just look at myself and be like, yeah, you ate that, did you, you piece of shit? Yeah, you like that waffle, didn't you?
Whatever. My abs are not that good. I'm no Jared Jacks. All right. But as we can put the war on waffles to the side, Perch, why don't you let them know what that banger of the week is?
Ooh, banger of the week. As the winter time is coming on, temperature's changing, it's getting cold. It's nice outside in some ways. This song hit home, listening with headphones, walking through the woods, a nice nature walk. And it was a cool feeling. And Black Parade album, Famous Last Words, My Chemical Romance. That's probably the banger of the whole CD. Just a good song that gets it going. A good pump you up song, a pregame song. And I rocked Famous Last Words before the show this Friday. And it was great. Got me in the right mind state.
Very nice. I am not as up on My Chemical Romance. I'm gonna pass it to the Riot Squad for his opinion on that banger.
100% agree. It is Riot approved. Great song, great album. It's a good song to push you through a hard workout at the end, man. So good.
Well,
gets the blood flowing.
I will have to check it out on that Take It Home podcast playlist that you can find link in the description. So
can you really?
Yes, you can, Gunner.
Oh, wow. I'll have to check it out myself then.
You can also find your social media information in that description as well.
I know that. I know where to find that.
All right.
I'm good there.
I don't think I've added everybody's YouTube playlist to it yet, so I'll have to do that. I'll probably do that tonight. I'll be forgetting, but I'll go ahead and add everybody's YouTube playlist to the description. So yeah, check the description. Listen to the Take It Home podcast playlist, and also we'll probably have some match playlists down there, so you can go ahead and watch your favorite podcasts, beat people up or officiate, whatever it is we do. But thank you for that banger of the week. All right, guys. Why don't we talk about what we have been watching this week? No, it's end of the holiday, end of the year, so actual wrestling is hard to find. So maybe we got in some watch time. What about you, Zach?
They cut me in the yawn. Sorry. I'm not much. I kind of been catching up a little bit on NXT, watching the MSK that met the Shaman. I was happy it was Matt Riddle. I was really speculating, I don't know why, but everyone was like hyping Rob Van Dam. I'm like, that'd be super cool. So I had the hopes it'd be Rob Van Dam, but Matt Riddle is cool. I like watching that, seeing that. I am enjoying watching Tony D'Angelo do his thing with Pete Dunne right now. I'm like pretty invested in that. But other than that, I haven't really watched much.
Okay. Gunnar, you've been gone for a bit. Have you watched anything over these past couple of weeks?
Dude, not really, to be honest.
I guess besides Spider-Man?
Yeah, dude, Spider-Man, No Way Home. Fantastic movie, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I don't want to try talking about it though, because I'll probably accidentally spoil it. So
yeah, don't do that.
Just go see it.
Yeah, most of the podcast has not done that, but that's an endorsement from the Riot Squad.
Yeah, wrestling wise, seen just YouTube clips of like current AEW, WWE stuff. What was it like last week? The whole Paul Heyman getting laid out by Roman Reigns. Big fan of that. I'm excited to see where that goes. But as always, I got to catch up on my wrestling.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, yeah, that Reigns Heyman segment was spicy.
With this feud with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, like I don't know about anyone else, but like this is probably like the most hype I've been for like their feud. Like with the scripts flipped.
This is the most hype I've been since I thought they were going to do this before. Like I thought there was a time when I thought they were going to turn Roman earlier during one of their feuds, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is the most excited I've been since then, at least. It's good stuff. Go ahead, WWE. Your main event is on point. Perch. Have you been watching anything?
Yeah, it caught me sitting down, tuning in this week for an awesome episode of AEW, and sat down and got ready and tuned in, and holy smokes, they started it off with the championship match right away.
Yep.
About 10 minutes in, had to grab pops, and they're really going at it.
I was more surprised at myself for not realizing that they would do this, because they have done this before with putting their big match on first, and I was not.
Yeah.
I was more upset that I was surprised that it was on first.
With Paulie T reffing it, and Danielson just doing the simple heel tactics. The way they started that match out, like the first act was phenomenal. Just good, easy pacing and separation and intensity when you need it. And then wasn't long before realizing, holy smokes, these guys are 30 minutes into it, 40 minutes into it. Oh boy. We got ourselves a classic on a Wednesday night. It was awesome. Just a great match, a full 60-minute Broadway, and really enjoyed watching Paul Turner referee that whole match. Haven't experienced my first ever hour-long match. I remember what I felt like coming out of it. and the feeling of exhaustion. It was cool to watch someone else go through the motions and to take some pointers from watching. Really enjoyed that match. Good intensity with Danielson and Hangman. We got to see his finish. It was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. And Danielson was just a good heel, good just staying at, a Terminator, just not stopping. And then the main event that night was Dante against MJF. Good match, good back and forth, and shenanigans at the end, and just a good finale, and awesome to see Dante main event in AEW, which was, kind of spotlighted by a 60-minute broad.
Yeah, I know it's very easy to forget that Dante and MJF had a very good 15-20 minute match.
Oh, that was
at
great.
the end.
Loved it. That was such a great episode. That got me so hyped up for the whole week to come. Like, damn, we watched that whole hour match. It's almost like the Pack winning a game on Sunday. It was like, we enjoyed, those who watched went to work the next day knowing that, hey, we watched a 60-minute damn hard fought match between, some guys who are really giving it. And right in the heart of Texas, crowd was going nuts. It was cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, one of the better matches I've seen on TV in a long time.
It was definitely an instant classic. Is that all you got, Perch?
Yeah, those were
the
big standouts.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure before I start waxing poetically about the rest of the episode, because I was also a big fan of the Wardlow Matt Sydal match, if you want to call it a match, went about 3 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's it just that's the thing. It's like, we complimented the E earlier on their main event. That's an interesting storyline. I can't talk enough about, I know we don't talk about it, but the Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch storyline. Big fan of Liv Morgan. Love to see her get to this push now in the title scene. So big fan of that. Dewdrop and Bianca Belair going at it. I love those two girls. I hope they bring back the Viper Niven name, but that's a minor thing. They're two excellent workers. But if you look at the WWE main event, it's pretty solid all around. Below that, I am not as interested or not as invested, I guess I should say, as I am in the AEW mid card and under, because the Wardlow just power bombing everybody to hell, and Shawn Spears just being a little rat bastard to steal the pin. I am so excited for when Wardlow just snaps and power bombs the whole Pinnacle on top of each other. 3-minute match, but wonderful storytelling in it. They're keeping them super protected, and I love it. And other highlight from that night has to be that Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb match.
Ooh, yeah, really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it's I guess people are saying that this was the worst of the 3 matches, but they got an A-. Oh no, that was still a really, really good match. And it's one of those things where you can tell that the turnbuckle is going to be the finish. I still bid on it when Sheeta finally kicked Serena Deeb and had her snake eyes into the corner for the roll up bridge. Perfect. I bid on it, was super excited. They teased it perfectly. Serena Deeb is such a vicious heel, and I love it. The freaking neck breaker between the second turnbuckle, on the second turnbuckle, I guess.
On the actual turnbuckle.
Yep.
That was brutal.
She removed the turnbuckle. I don't even want to call it a pad, because if you've ever felt it, it's not really a pad. It's just like a piece of leather to cover the turnbuckle. So it's not like there's much protection anyway. But for her to rip that off and give her that neck breaker on there, genius. I'm going to use that for something else, because that was too unique for me to take it verbatim, but I'm taking that spot somehow. But just a great match between those two. They can wrestle forever, and I would be more than happy. I think Simon Miller said if they were to just say, hey, this is going to a best of 7, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Whatever those two girls want to do, I'm all for. Some other wrestling I watched, back on my New Japan, still powering through the G1, standout match, of course, goes to that Stone Pitbull Ishii. Him and Tangaloa had what you would expect from them to just two hard-hitting motherfuckers going at it, dropping each other on their head. It was a great match. Another standout is going to be Yano and Abushi. If you know Abushi's history, he loves the comedy wrestling. So him and Yano going at it was great and hilarious. And Abushi is all in it, and you know he cares about it. So it just made it that much better when we got to Kamigoye to the back of the head, Kamigoye to the front of the head for the finish. It was really good. What else I watched? I always forget to talk about it. MLW. Loving MLW right now. It is a little bit of a watered down Lucha Underground, but I don't care. I'm a freaking mark. This is why I wrestle. They're catering to me. The Willow versus Holodead match with Blue Meanie in Willow's corner and Holodead's whole faction with Arez coming out to help her was freaking great. I'm just really loving everything that they're doing over in MLW. Really enjoy watching it. But yeah, that's about all I've watched this week. Like I said, as years coming to an end, I'm getting to watch more wrestling and I love it. But let's get out of wrestling we watched and let's talk about some wrestling that we have done. Gunner, you have not been here in a little bit. Why don't you regale us with some stories of the past couple of weeks?
Let's see. I feel like a lot is going on. I'll start off recently last weekend. ICW was in a tag fatal four-way for the Midwest title at ICW. Close to getting that one, but Cypher took the title. Well deserved. Bigger man than I. But
yes, congrats. Yeah, congrats to Cypher. I still think you, him, and Sean should have been a faction because you guys are really cool.
Thank you. We teamed up, I think, once back in, I don't remember the place.
Yeah, when we had that Dousman show, and that's what I noticed. I was like, you guys were the big bad heels, but I looked at you and said, oh no, you guys look really cool together. And so the crowd ended up cheering for you guys.
Yep, that'll happen. But yeah, let's see here. BCW, the last show, I had a match against Mav and Bax. Well, actually, me and the White Whale Aesop against Mav and Bax. We ended up winning that one, which means that at Rise to Honor, I believe that's January 9th, me against Mav and Bax in a Fans Bring the Weapons match. So really looking forward to that one. Man, Rise to Honor is always a banger every time. So come out to that show. It'll be great. I got to participate in GLCW Blizzard Brawl a couple weeks ago. That was pretty cool. I was in the Battle Royal at the beginning, final 2, but Big Mustafa got me out. So close, yet so far.
Did you avoid the moonsault, though? That's what's most important.
I did avoid the moonsault, but it did take a nasty knee to the face, followed by a nasty headbutt while I was dangling on the outside apron there, and that's what got him the victory. But yeah, very, very close on that one. Armani, some help from Armani got me to the final 2. So much appreciated there. Something I never thought I would say or would ever happen. But let's see, what else have I been doing? I think that might, Fourth Wall Wrestling. I was there recently. Got to go against Avalon. How could I forget about that? Great match.
Yeah, that did happen. Talk about that.
Yep. Probably maybe the best match or one of the best matches I've had in quite some time. Came down to the very end, false finish after false finish until the eventual spear in the final finish, as per usual at Fourth Wall. Yeah, it was a great match. Loved every moment of it, except for him kicking my face off and hitting me in the nuts with the shovel. A lot of nut shots recently. BCW, fourth wall. Seems like everywhere I go, I'm getting hit in the nads. Not a
You're
fan.
Wisconsin's Brock Lesnar. That's the only way to take you out.
You said you have balls of steel. I bet you everyone's just trying to test it out. People listen to the podcast.
I know. I don't think it needs any further testing though. That's the issue. May have to re-up my steel coating on my old nutsack because yeah, it's feeling rough recently.
Sorry, I'm sure somebody can buff those out for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure someone can. Yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, I had the GLCW Blizzard Brawl Day. I had a seminar with Braun Strowman and EC3, or I guess formerly Braun Strowman, now Adam Shear, the Titan. That was a really cool learning experience, being able to learn from one of the biggest big men in the game. Taught me a lot. I got to wrestle a match against Cal in front of him, got a bunch of cool pointers. Cut a very mediocre promo in front of them, got torn apart, rightfully so. But yeah, learned a ton from those two guys, and hopefully I'll get to run into them in the future at some point, because yeah, really, most I've learned that day in quite some time.
So actually, you know what? I want to ask you a question because I don't think you've done too many seminars. But now that I know that
three, yeah,
I know that you've done where you've had to cut a promo. I've done one that's been all promos. What is more nerve-wracking, wrestling at a seminar or cutting a promo at a seminar?
For me, like promo all the way. When it comes to promos, I think I'm trying to like find my inner gunner, find the character that I want to portray through voice is very hard for me, as opposed to wrestling. I feel like at this point I can do in my sleep. So the wrestling part, once you're in there, it's like muscle memory takes over. No problem whatsoever as far as like nerves and stuff like that goes. Promo is a whole different story. Looking Adam Shear right in the face, cutting a promo, trying to be a monster, looking at a fellow monster, it can be intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you. I will say the best seminar promo I've ever heard belongs to Perch on this podcast from the Jimmy Jacobs seminar.
I need to hear the story on that because I've not heard that.
So, like, super early in our career, like, I think it was before like the winter of our first year. This had Jimmy Jacobs come to ICW to hold a seminar. And this was like right after he had gotten released by WWE. And, you know, this is the guy that came up with the list and, you know, a lot of creative ideas for the WWE, good creative ideas for the WWE at that time. And he came and he just wanted to do promos the whole time. Now, you're very confident in yourself as a wrestler now. At that point, I was not.
We're still just young pups.
Yeah, we were still, having that guy have a voice was damn near impossible. Luckily, I was one of the few people whose opponent for the show was there that night, so I could put together some type of cohesive story, but it wasn't very good. But Perch cut. Actually, the two refs, I'll even put Jerry over because Jerry cut a really good one too. The two refs probably cut the best promos of that seminar. Jerry had some like dark, evil character that he was going through. And Perch just cut a promo about the rules of wrestling and his officiating for that evening. And it was really good.
It was a funny time. Just those early on seminars. you mentioned, Joe, being there with a guy like, Adam Shear, holy smokes. Someone who's influenced, probably each one of us in some way over the past several years to even want to get into the business, and seeing it as a monster, and holy smokes, now you're right in front of them and working. And like Jay mentioned, those early seminars, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to give everything we've got, but we're going to learn from it. And it's cool to be in those spots, and cool to still taking advantage of every opportunity, and to have a seminar like that is sweet. Take as many as you can. Always keep the eyes open for seminars in town.
Yeah, nothing like a good one. I said
You never know when you'll get Jimmy Jacobs in the middle of South Milwaukee at LeBron.
yeah. Or I've been lucky to have Ricky Marvin in Chicago and Nashville, Tennessee for on the random. So though most of the time I would agree with you, Gunner, in that cutting a promo is the most strenuous part of a seminar. After being in front of Ricky Marvin twice, I would say just doing anything in front of people that you model yourself after is the worst thing.
Very true, yeah, because many similarities between my character and Adam's character, just because we're bigger and we have roles that are kind of baked into our size.
Yeah.
And so yeah, knowing that like a guy is critiquing you and watching you that has very recently been on like the I'm all the way down here.
He has done what you are trying to do, and
done it well.
Yes, and done it very well. You would very much like that first to acknowledge that you do it okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Super great time, dude. That seminar was great. So hopefully I can catch some more good ones down the road. The cool thing about that seminar too is like both of them actually cared to be there and like wanted to help teach you. I've gone to 3 seminars so far, 2 of them very good, which that one is included in that, and one of them not so great. So I appreciate like when they're coming down, they're not just there to like take your money and tell you to fuck off and like not pay attention. They're there to like actually help you get better, and we share common goals because I'm trying to get better myself. So yeah, shout out to those 2 guys for giving a shit and giving me some useful knowledge that I'll take on into the future.
No, definitely. Yeah, I'll put over the Jimmy Jacobs seminar again from all those years ago. He was another one that was, very into it. He could have, you would think, we're just cutting promos. He does, all he has to say is yay or nay, but no, he was really in there analyzing people's promos, coming up with completely new gimmicks for people. Just really handing out the ideas and everything. And I think that day was probably a lot of help to a lot of people, just because of how much he cared and just how much information he was giving out. So yes, it's always very good when somebody who's hosting a seminar really cares and wants to help people be better. All right, Perch. Looks like you had a full weekend. Why don't you tell us what you were doing?
Yeah, this weekend was a fun one. We started things off at freelance wrestling on Friday night at Logan Square Auditorium. Fun to be back, as it always is. It's just a cool place. A lot of cool moments have gone down there, and this night was like many others, memorable. And it started off with a freelance scramble and a fun match. I like those matches. Always different variety of people. Ended up having a tag team match in there as well. And then the main event was for the freelance heavyweight championship, the big tournament that has been going on for the past several months. The finals was on Friday, so I got to come up with the big title belt. And I think it's the first time it's being really fought for since the return. So it was a cool feeling because we were up in the balcony not too long ago, looking down at the title match for freelance. One of them I remember was Ethan Page against Kylie Ray in a banger, and then Kylie against Ego Robert Anthony, where he had a bloody face. So in this time, it was the main event with Ego Robert Anthony and Frank the Clown against Craig Mitchell. Craig Mitchell at freelance is just a monster, and a great match. I got to throw out Frank the Clown. Had to give him the old "You are out of here," and then the match went on. About 10 minutes in, Ego pulled me in the way of a Craig Mitchell clothesline, and it ended my night.
Yeah, I saw that. Texted you about that as soon as I saw that.
Yeah, took a clothesline from Craig Mitchell, and I was counting the light bulbs on top of the circle at Logan Square Auditorium. A great time. Tell you the truth, I don't even know who won the match. Took me a little bit to get my wits about me, but that was a fun night. Very fun show altogether. On IWTV, if anyone wants to replay that. And then Saturday, out at Berwyn Eagles Club for Berwyn Championship Wrestling. And that was a really good time too. Working with tons of different people from the Chicago area and Wisconsin, and just kind of all around really fun show. At one point, Davey Bang against Missa Kate. They got into a tussle over a Bang energy drink. I grabbed it out of their hands and happened to end up drinking it. And one thing led to another, and I blacked out for about a minute. But what it looks like is I body slammed both people a few times and delivered a double clothesline and shook the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
Before I passed out.
Perch is the man who only drinks coffee and water. Bang was a little bit too much for that old soul.
Bang was too much. I saw I crushed it against my noggin too. And then hugged the can. It was a wild moment. Out of my element. I want to go back to just calling right down the middle.
Yep.
It was a fun time though. Crowd was going nuts and it was fun all around. But made for a good weekend and looking forward to the next ones coming up.
Hell yeah. All right, Zach, why don't we tell them about our Saturday?
Yes, sir. Saturday was this weekend was very light for us, but our match was not light at all. We got to wrestle former Zawa Live heavyweight champion Connor Hawkins and another former Zawa Live heavyweight champion Christian Rose in a tag team match. Unfortunately, your mama's favorites didn't get the win, but we had a banger of a match. When you drop kick a guy when he falls flat bump and he's almost the size of the ring, you got a heavy duty. But Doc and I wasn't an issue for us until some poking in the eye occurred.
Yeah. Was definitely a match that I think we were both looking forward to. We've worked Cotter before. Cotter is a great opponent, great rival. Throughout my fireweight championship runs, him and Bucky, I've enjoyed working them. Rose is somebody that I have wanted to work for a long time, so it was good to get that notch under my belt. Not so happy with their cheating ways, those damn coyotes. But homegrown wrestling, we've been there twice now. Both times have been banger matches, and more importantly, both times the crowd has been amazing. Shout out to the West Carroll All Sports Boosters, because I believe it was like a business class project or something to raise money for school. They had a packed house. I know it was 150 pre-sale. Wouldn't be surprised if the final count was like over 300 people there. Everybody was super into it. Freaking Cole sold out of merch. Fans were super into it, so can't thank them enough.
Dude, Cole Haven, were you out there for his entrance?
No, I was not.
He switched his song. I forgot what it was, but like he did his original song, then cut into his new song. And he went up and down the crowd and everyone was enjoying it, dancing, and like ran out the time like on the entrance. But man, it was like everyone was into it. Like no one was like, all right, this guy's just going overboard. Everyone was up dancing like a great time. So it was super fun. Like we have a crowd like that.
Definitely. And I have forgotten the name of the place, and I am sorry about that. Wait a minute, I'll find it right now. The Majestic Pines in Thompson, Illinois. They were very gracious hosts. Heard they immediately wanted to have us back sometime in the spring to do an outdoor show. Just letting you know, your mama's favorite tag team. We are shooters. We will travel.
Yes, sir.
So hopefully we'll have a chance to come back out there. But yeah, it was a really awesome show. Shout out to the whole homegrown family. Hopefully we'll be back soon. Okay.
Speaking of traveling,
yeah, you know, it was like, hey, you know, that's a great segue. Because we will travel. We don't mind it. For the most part, we love it, but there are some things we hate about it. And that was the topic this week. And since he hasn't been here in a minute, I'm gonna keep putting him on the spot. Gunner, what are some things you hate about the travel as a wrestler?
Main thing I hate is just being uncomfortable in a car that might be too small or too packed with people, or too much luggage in the back seat, or maybe I get stuck in the back seat, whoever in the front has their seat way back. Just the actual act of sitting in a car for a long time, not a fan of.
Hey, that's fair. You know, we big guys, we take up a lot of room.
Yes, we do. And just the longer the drive it is, the more I hate that part of it. Especially, you know, like after the match, if it's a rough one, usually right after a match, if all goes well, nothing really like hurts at the moment. But if you're at a long car ride driving home afterwards, that's when it starts to kind of settle in. It's like, oh shit, my neck's kind of stiff. My back doesn't feel too great. Yes, that's the biggest thing I hate, is just being stuck in the car for that long. Otherwise, maybe like if you're coming home real late after a show, which is usually the case, trying to find something decent to eat can be tough. Being in Wisconsin or in the Midwest, you can always count on the local quick trip somewhere to get you through. That's not always the case though. But yeah, those are two biggest things: just being crunched up, hungry, sitting there just waiting to get home, tired as hell. This is my least favorite part of wrestling.
No, that's fair. Yeah, and finding food is always more of a struggle than you want it to be.
Always.
On long car.
Yeah, severe lack of waffles late at night too.
Yeah, we don't have a Waffle House out here.
We shouldn't, dude.
Yeah.
Where's the closest one even? It's like a ways.
It's a hot minute away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful for the quick trips though. Quick trips will get. Sometimes if you're lucky, really lucky late at night, if you go into a quick trip, they'll have those like breakfast sandwiches with waffles for like the bread, the outer part. Big fan of those. Those are great.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, Perch, we know you generally love everything, but there has to be something you dislike about the travel.
Yeah, usually I'm able to settle in, some good music, good vibes, comfy gear. Always have to have extra clothes, driving clothes. Definitely sweat through a shirt or two when it comes to driving. But when you get the car just right, you want to prepare yourself for all the elements that are going to be fighting against you, because there's a lot of outside forces and a lot of craziness that comes to driving the highways and the roads that we do. I'd say the worst thing is driving super late at night. That's the least favorite of traveling, is the late night when you have to go one place to another and get there on a time frame.
Yeah.
That can be difficult. I'd love to take a day off or a day in advance and dedicate that day to safe travel. So that way, when it comes to the show the next day or something, you don't have to worry about the travel beforehand. So, the daunting nighttime drives is probably the worst. So anytime you can avoid either doing that or have a safe drive, or when you drive and you're rushing to get somewhere. I think being in a rush would be the worst, but that's avoidable. So try to avoid it. But a big one that I can't stand is every time heading to Illinois, just about every time, paying tolls.
Oh, I forgot about that one. I'm with you there.
Paying tolls. I'm sure someone could justify it. However, I don't know that person. And I also don't live in Illinois or a state that makes me pay tolls. I certainly pay taxes in Illinois, and I
Depending
certainly
on
pay
how
tolls.
long you want to
when in
live in
Illinois.
Wisconsin, I can see tolls coming. They're on their way.
Well, when the toll man comes, I'll pay my toll. But until then, I'll gripe about it every time.
I believe I am lucky enough that Mama Simmons pays for my tolls. So bless that woman's heart. That is the one thing she still pays for me. She pays for my tolls. So
You pay for mine too.
no. So when you see the out of town shooters, that's on Mama Simmons' dollar. All right. just so you know. So send her a thank you card, send her some Mother's Day flowers, something, because we are riding on her dime to get through those tolls. I'm with you. Can't stand it. Like luckily, I guess we're originally from the DMV, so having an easy pass is the normal thing to get through these tolls. But yeah, not a fan of them. Not a fan of them.
Yeah, the iPass is definitely a necessity, and I've put more mileage on that thing than
Yeah, and I
I know
really
what
like
you're doing.
love the iPass, and love my lady, but occasionally she has to use it, and when I forget to switch that thing over, and I got to stop through the cash, I feel like a plebeian. All right.
That's
Bro,
awful. That's awful. And
Can't
I've like my parents were like, what do you want for Christmas? I couldn't think. I'm like, wait, I need an iPass with that amount of time we've like gone through with my car and forget the iPass.
Yeah. I really should just add your car to mine, but I just always forget to ask for the login. So if you want to remind me of that, I'll just add your car to mine. Talking business on the Take It Home podcast. Don't worry about it, fans. Zach, what do you dislike about the travel? Oh, I wanted to say, yes, the late night driving. Me and Zach have been lucky lately that we've been able to avoid that, but there was that rough like 2-3 months where we were always on a timer between Friday and Saturday. And
Bro,
luckily we don't.
those were like the worst.
Yeah, we haven't had one in a little bit. I think my next one isn't until February, and I'm really not looking forward to that one. But all things come to pass. All right,
Yeah.
Zach. What do you got for things you dislike about travel?
I last Saturday actually for the first like 2 hours of my trip, it was all back roads. And anytime I was looking at my gas, like you have those, you look at your gas, you're like, I can make it a little bit longer. There's a gas station coming up, and there's
Yeah.
no gas station coming up for a while, and you're like, all right, where the hell's a gas station? You hit where nearby gas station, and it's like completely the opposite way for another 20 minutes. And you're like, that adds like an extra 40 minutes to this drive. It really
Yeah.
like irks me. Or as Gunnar said, lack of food will stop places and be like, man, I'm really hungry. This looks good. And you walk up, there's nothing there. Saturday, I went to Casey's gas station twice. I understand why Justin Flowers said he'll never go to Casey gas station again. It was closed. Couldn't use the pump. There's the only two
God,
pumps in the area.
yeah.
And
All those Casey's were closed this weekend. That was infuriating.
yeah, that was very annoying. I mean, other than that, I mean, I guess those overnight trips, but I mean, you'd probably hate it more than I benefit with Doc taking the late night shift and I take the afternoon shift.
Oh yeah, late night driving has never been a problem for me. Luckily, I've always been kind of with a family that travels a lot and drives late, so it's just kind of a thing we do. But what brought this up was actually me running into something that I really liked and I hadn't really seen before. And it's when you're driving on some of these back roads, kind of like Zach said, and it's got a decent speed limit of 55 or 65, and you're driving. And what I ran into was, which I loved, was a gradual decrease in speed as you hit the town, from 65 to 55 to 45 to 35. Great. Love it. No problem. What I hate, and I'm coming from some of these Zawa shows and these other backwater town shows, is when you're going 65 and it's an immediate 35. No chance of slowing down. You're just in the 65 zone, going to a 35. Cannot stand that. It is the worst thing ever. To hell with your kids playing in the street. Fuck them. All right. Can't stand that. It always catches me by surprise. I'll just be driving comfortably, banging my music as Perch will. And then all of a sudden I'll start to see, you know what, these are a lot of houses lined up. I probably shouldn't be going 65 here. And notice like, oh, there was probably a speed limit sign back there that just said 35 or something. Now I don't know how fast I'm supposed to be going. Now I got to crawl through at 25 to be safe until I hit another speed limit sign. Cannot stand it. Your town sucks. Okay. I should speed through it so I can get out of here faster and I can get home. So I have to be stuck driving late at night, going to Casey's that are closed. It's the worst shit ever.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand it. Sorry. But I was very happy coming home from Homegrown to see gradual changes in speed as we approach some like residential area. But all right. Enough venting. Why don't we look forward to a brighter future, as our friend Cody Jacobs would say, and talk about what we got coming up this week. It is holiday time, so wrestling is few and far in between. But Zach, we got something coming up.
Yes, sir. My bad. Mid-bite.
Well, you know what? I got it. Saturday.
Not Saturday. Sorry.
Oh yeah, not Saturday. Thursday, actually. Saturday.
Thursday, December 23rd, we make our debut for Janesville Wrestling Alliance out in, guess where, Gunner?
Where?
Janesville.
Where?
I believe we are taking on Flight Club.
Flight Club, yes. Which is Quinn, and I do not know his other partner's name, but excited. It'll be the second time working Quinn. Quinn is fun. Hopefully you don't have to save him from dying.
I'm not saving him this time.
I mean, yeah.
As a Spider-Man would say, everyone gets one.
Yeah. It's like, tell him, Peter. Yeah, apparently everybody gets one. So yeah, very excited. I know I think the homie Ewok will be there. Illustrious commentator for Black Wrestlers Matter. Go check out those two shows to hear his awesome commentary. Can't recommend him enough. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Looking forward to this match. Always nice to debut in a new place. Always nice to be somewhere that is actually decently close to where I live. So really looking forward to this.
Oh yeah.
Gunner, you got anything coming up this week?
I do not. It's Christmas. I have presents, eating lots of food, sleeping for a long time, just enjoying myself. That's what I got going on this week.
Nope, I understand. I will be headed back to Virginia, so I have lots of driving ahead for me, and also lots of food and maybe some presents. I don't know. I'm old.
True, with presents, they dwindle significantly the older you get.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Perch, what you got coming up?
This Thursday, freelance, back at Logan Square, but not the auditorium, Logan Square Arcade out there. So really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. Should be some good vibes, good people, good atmosphere. And yeah, it makes for a nice little a Thursday show, and then the rest of the weekend, I think, to recover and enjoy Christmas.
Yes, sir. Zach, I think everybody else talked about what they got planned for Christmas. You want to talk about what you got for Christmas?
Christmas Eve we'll be doing stuff with Val's family, hanging out with Dysfunction and everyone, and then that late that night we're gonna be ending up heading out to Indiana and spending Christmas Day with my family.
Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. So yeah, hopefully everybody has a nice, safe holiday, and we'll be back next week afterwards to talk about this, talk about our holiday weekends, and talk about all the presents that Gunner rioted for.
Yeah, I never said how I'd acquire those presents.
Yeah.
Not many presents are given to me willingly.
But he's got them, and that's all that matters. All right, we can start signing off. Zach, any final thoughts or questions?
No, not really. Just those listening, have a Merry Christmas.
Very nice and can sing. Perch, final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes, sir. Gunner, final thoughts or questions?
I'll continue the trend. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
No. You haven't been here for a while. This is your moment. This was your segment.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, Kwanzaa would have happened.
Or whatever holidays you choose to celebrate. I hope they're happy and filled with joy.
Yes. And I guess from me, thank you to all our listeners. Thank you to everybody who supports over this year plus ride that we've been on. Please, everybody, be safe, and so that you can be with us next year and hear me rant about small shit towns that I don't like driving through. There's a lot of them. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow all of our social medias. Check out the Spotify playlist. Gunner will, because we've got some My Chemical Romance on there. And maybe check out his match playlist once I find it on YouTube and upload it into the description. Go ahead. What you got to say?
I was just gonna say that if you look on that match playlist, you'll see it's been maybe a year and a half since I've last uploaded. But hopefully this coming week, I do have off from my shoot job, so there may be some new uploads.
So yeah, go to
Got a mighty large backlog.
go to his YouTube page, comment and pester him about uploading new matches so you can see how good he looks.
I'll only upload if I get pestered.
Yep, pester him. Everybody write comments in his matches, mess up the YouTube algorithm.
Supply and demand, baby.
All right, but this has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1.